Right, Ben. How has coronavirus affected your training with the Dragons, and what are you doing day to day during lockdown?
It's very different. I mean, we've got a lot less equipment in the house than we would do on a normal training day. But fair play to the Dragons, they've given us to keep things ticking over. So just sort of trying to best prepare ourselves for when we do get back into the season, whenever that will be. Just making sure we're in a good place to do that.
Yeah. So can you give us through like roughly what your day in lockdown would be when you're training? What sort of things you get up to?
Yeah, I've quite a civilised morning. Probably get up around 8 or 9. Have some breakfast, chill out for a bit. Usually I'm quite lucky. We live right next to a playing field, so I usually go over there, do some passing, keep the skills ticking over, things like that. Head back, and then they've been good. They sent us out a sort of a schedule to follow for each week. To usually tick off, gym, cardio, stuff like that. So, lower upper body, and then how much cardio I need to be doing, and then just keeping track of body weight, really, just to gauge, how much I'm doing. But yeah, it's just finding things to fill the day, really.
Yeah. So then going on to the Junior World Championship this year, is meant to be held in Italy, obviously cancelled due to the coronavirus. What were your feelings going into that tournament? Obviously you were due to play New Zealand, Australia and Georgia, 3 really good age grade teams. Were you confident going into the tournament?
Yeah, I think we were in a good place. You could argue, we probably didn't have the best Six Nations. 2 losses at the start, and then those the 2 wins against England and France. Things were looking good, and then we had that upset against Scotland. I think you could put that down to things on the day. Thinking that the game was going to be cancelled or was behind closed doors, and we can't make excuses. It wasn't great, but I think there were a lot of learnings to take from that, and I think generally going through the Six Nations, we were building, improving, and getting tighter as a group. And I was excited for the World Cup to challenge for to actually go on and be successful there. So yeah, it was really disappointing to hear it was cancelled.
Yeah. And at the Dragons, then obviously the big news coming out is Corey Hill's left to go to the Blues. Corey, obviously, same position as you. What do you make of that, Corey leaving? How will that affect the Dragons, and how will Corey be remembered at the Dragons?
I think he'll be remembered really well. In my eyes, he will be. I thought he was great, and I was actually quite gutted to hear that he was leaving. I don't think it changes anything in terms of how hard I'm pushing, but when I started training a couple of sessions with the seniors, it was just when Corey was injured or when he was just coming back into training. So I probably only had 1 or 2 sessions with him, but in both of those, he helped me a lot. Sort of picked up and learned things from him, and he was always happy to have a chat, and I thought he was great, and I think he's going to be a big loss in terms of performances and help for people around him.
Also at the Dragons, then Dean Ryan's kept on Luke Narroway and Simon Cross. What do they bring to the Dragons, and how have they changed the Dragons in the last year?
I think they're great in terms of their knowledge of the game, in their respective sort of aspects and things that they know is great. The detail that they go into is excellent. I probably worked more with Naz or Luke Narroway in the under 23 season, and his knowledge of the line out. He's played at the top level for England, and it's great to learn things from. So yeah, it's really good things going forward for the Dragons, and it's an exciting place to be.
Yeah, and you mentioned that word excitement. There's been a lot of names thrown around as potential signings, Jonah Holmes and Nick Tompkins. Welsh internationals, and in your own position, I think Rory Thornton from the Blues is a name that's been mentioned a couple of times. The overriding feeling is, with all Dragons have struggled to attract high name players, and there really is that feeling of excitement at the moment. And what's it like to be in that environment with all these world class players being linked with the club?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, you want to be in a team that's doing well and is doing things and going places, and like the Dragons is definitely one of them. You know, it's great to mix in. We've got a lot of you know, top quality players there at the moment, and I think the more the better. I mean, it's great for everything in terms of, you know, attracting crowds, you know, performances, and learning for the younger guys. So yeah, no, it's only good things.
All right, cheers, Ben.
Thank you.